The clean girl aesthetic kind of killed my spirit. I feel like I lost myself there for a little while. But maximalism is back, okay? Shout out Chapel Roan. Hey, girl. If for whatever reason you're not aware, the maximalist aesthetic is characterized by excess, okay? Abundance. We are doing the most. We've all heard the phrase less is more. Maybe you're familiar with more is more. That is maximalism. And we're seeing a resurgence of this in the visual arts, beauty, design, fashion. I'm personally seeing a hunger again for eyeshadow looks, for art, for inspiration. By the way, all of the products for this video are linked in the description box if anybody cares. Anyway, visually, I think we're bored. Okay, I know I am. Minimalism has gone from feeling like clean and contemporary to extremely sterile and uninspiring, unimaginative. This is nothing new. We've seen this cycle throughout history time and time again. Minimalism due to scarcity as an effect of war and later consumerism, bolstered by things like infrastructure development and access to new materials. We've seen both of these aesthetics kind of flow through the class system as well. For instance, minimalism due to scarcity, poverty, versus maximalism, abundance, due to being on the high end of extreme wealth disparities. We've also seen it flip. Lower middle class people with a scarcity complex, due to being raised by parents who experienced true scarcity, might be more inclined in general to hold on to things when they feel like, well, I don't have financial freedom, so like I have this stuff, I need to keep this stuff because I could lose everything. And on the flip side of that, I feel like the first thing that comes to my mind, honestly, is Kim Kardashian's house. That like white, sterile cement block. The whole thing looks like, to me, an insane asylum from Black Mirror. I just started watching the newest season of Black Mirror. That's what it makes me think of. I personally wouldn't want to live there. I think I would go insane just from the echo. Whether it's socioeconomic or aesthetically driven, throughout history and in every category of life, I feel like we've seen this kind of maximalist and minimalist dichotomy. And currently, in the visual arts, including the beauty industry, the trend is dictated by us being so over it. And that's where I feel like we are currently. We're over the clean girl aesthetic. We got it. We get it. We're good. Okay? We want to play again. And shout out to all the people who never stopped. I see you. I love you. You inspire me. Because I definitely lost touch with my like truly artistic self for a little while there. Something I find very interesting about this resurgence is that this isn't 2016 anymore. And after this near like decade, millennials and Gen Z, and I guess some of the younger Gen Xers who were too young to remember the 80s, are experiencing a return to maximalism in beauty for the first time. And we've grown up. We have a different perspective. And I'm excited to see what comes out of it. And my soul truly, truly hopes that you are too. To be clear, I don't think the resurgence of maximalism means that you have to go out and buy a bunch of new makeup. Because let's be real, we may soon be forced against our will to embrace minimalism to the max in many aspects of life. Plus, if you're a makeup lover, chances are you already have enough to do the most with, you know? And I would love to challenge you to play, to embrace the trend using what you already have. I've found personally putting those types of parameters on myself extremely helpful when trying to create something that feels new. So this video is obviously not, my typical tutorial. All of the steps you are watching, if you were interested in any of the products that I was using, the techniques that I was using, I wanted to include them all here. But I kind of wanted to just talk about maximalism. I think I've talked about this quite a bit here on my channel. My background is in art. It's in painting. It's in drawing. And what always intrigued me about makeup was my experience with portraiture. I loved drawing faces. Love drawing faces. I could draw eyeballs like all day long. And when I started painting, that really transformed my love of, portraits in pencil, which were black and white. Suddenly, as I was going through college and I was learning more about painting, I was painting with oils. I started to experiment a lot more with much larger sizes, than your typical sketchbook, large canvases, and using color, big strokes, big brushes, canvases that are 6 feet tall. And that transition into a much bolder style really kind of fueled my love for beauty when I would go on Pinterest, when I would go on Instagram and scroll through back in like 2013, 2014, and see people using makeup to create art on their face. My interest came specifically from, I think what I was drawn to the most was that this was a temporary thing. Because if you're someone who is creative, if you create any kind of a visual art or anything, maybe it's music, you'll know that you're your own worst critic and you can create something. You can spend months and months creating something. And when you finally have that thing, a week could go by and you could look at it and think, oh my God, that's so old. Like, that's not my style anymore. I've gotten so much better. It's all about steps. It's all about experimentation and learning. And you are never in the same place because that last painting or drawing or song that you created brought you to the place that you are now. So you're always looking at it from a completely different perspective. And that, for me, is what maximalism does, especially in beauty, because you're doing as much as you can. You're playing with as much as you can, and it's okay. It's accepted. And the reason that I felt so inspired by the aspect of using that in beauty is you wash it off. It is not a permanent thing. The end of the day, it's gone, and tomorrow, or I don't know, in 20 minutes, you can do a completely different thing. To me, there's something so magical about that because you have an endless canvas of creativity. It's one of the reasons that I've never felt like I wanted to do, what's it called? Dermablading? I almost said dermaplaning. Dermablading to my eyebrows or something like along those lines. I love the idea of, sometimes I want to grow my brows bushy. Not that they get so bushy. And sometimes I want to kind of shave the tail off so that I can make them look extra lifted. I want those options because I don't know what I'm going to be feeling in the next, 5 years, year, 6 months, 2 months. One of the things that I think is really, really fun, if you are interested in this, if you are interested in embracing maximalism in your beauty routine, doesn't mean you have to go all out immediately. You don't. You can dip your toes in, especially if you're somebody who is used to the clean girl aesthetic, or if you're someone who just doesn't really wear makeup that much. I talked about this in a video recently, but sitting down and just playing with makeup. If you love makeup, creating something ugly, okay, something that you would never wear out in public is such an incredible learning experience. And one of the parameters that I would put to help you to create would be pick a palette. I don't care what it is. It could be a face palette. It could be an eye palette, preferably something that has a lot of different shades, and use the entire palette. Use the entire palette on your face, okay? Maybe you put it on your cheeks. Maybe it's an eyeshadow palette. You put it on your cheeks, you put it on your eyes, you put it on your lips, put it everywhere, and just see what you come up with. If you really only have gigantic eyeshadow palettes, maybe use the top quarter of it or the left half of it. And the more you put those kinds of restrictions, they tend to give you a little bit more direction while maintaining that freedom. Because sometimes if you feel like, okay, well, I have all this makeup, I'm a beauty lover, I have all of these products, and I want to engage in this maximalism. Where do I start? Like, I don't know where to start. Recently, I've been having fun experimenting with bugle beads. I just like woke up one day and I was like, bugle beads, I feel like I could do that and just put those in my brows. Like I could make like jewel looking brows. And I decided to try it. And I didn't love the first one. It was okay. But I continued to experiment with it. And this is just a warning. You're going to be seeing me experiment a lot. It's going to be happening. And I would just want to say, I appreciate everyone who appreciates the artistry, the play, the creativity, the trying things that might not work, you know? So I hope that you're excited about maximalism coming back as a trend in the visual arts, in beauty, in fashion. If there are more videos that you'd like to see on this topic, maybe how to start, or I don't know, whatever your suggestions might be, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, by the way. Do they still do those? I don't know. Please let me know how maximalism is inspiring you right now. And you can subscribe and comment and blah, 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 blah. I'll do all the things. Bro, do all the things, okay? It's maximalist, all right? Okay. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye, 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 bye. Click.